So we're taking a look at the 2025 Nissan Pathfinder, and I'm comparing it to a lot of the other cars out there because I've been noticing that there's a lot of lack of Pathfinder coverage when it comes to these new cars, specifically the Grand Highlander and the regular Highlander and even the new 4Runner. A lot of people counting us out. I actually have a Pathfinder. I ain't like a Nissan fanboy, but I like Nissan. So Toyota's cool. No hate here, but it is interesting that no one is actually discussing the Pathfinder. So I thought I would kind of put my spin on it, my 2 cents as a Pathfinder owner. And they are also mentioning the Palisades, Telluride. What other one? The Mazda CX-9 and Honda Pilot. These are a lot of vehicles that they throw out there. Ford Explorer. But no mention of even the Chevy Traverse. No mention of the Nissan Pathfinder, though. And I'm like, well, why is that? The Pathfinder is cheaper. It has a lot of the same features. Still get a V6. I'm just like, well, why are they not counting it in there? They even got the Rock Creek for all the off-roaders. There, a lot of people are not counting it in. And I think that may be intentional. I know Nissan has their financial troubles, and they've had a kind of rocky reputation in the past. But the new Pathfinder is a really good one. Even the old ones are good. I don't think anyone who's ever owned a Pathfinder has had many complaints. Same with the people who have Frontiers or even people who have Armadas. My wife, she had a Nissan Maxima. So she had no complaints with that. So I don't know why there's so much Nissan hate. It's like people love to hate Nissan, but they actually make some pretty decent cars, and the Pathfinder is one of them. And if you stack that up to the Grand Highlander, you can see some of the specs they have. They're similar, but of course the Grand Highlander, if you get the fully spec'd out hybrid max edition, you're getting a crazy amount of horsepower, crazy amount of the torque, 362 horsepower, versus the Pathfinder, you're getting 284 horsepower, naturally aspirated V6. But you do get 6,000 pounds of towing capacity standard versus the 5,000 on the Toyota. And, fuel economy is similar. I drive a Pathfinder. They say you're getting 21 miles a gallon in the city. You can if you're turning on all the eco modes and you're just driving like an old man or something. But if you're driving like a regular person, you're turning off because you can still turn off the cylinder deactivation, the auto, where it cuts the engine off. You can turn that auto start stop off. So you turning that off, you turn off eco mode, riding normal, you're probably going to get about 16, 17 miles a gallon. And I also have a roof rack, so that may contribute to that too. But yeah, if you ride in eco mode, it is possible to get 20 miles a gallon in the city. I have gotten 26 miles a gallon on the highway, and that was with none of the eco features on, just driving. So that is very doable on highway numbers. But the city, you have to be very mindful and very gas friendly and gas minded to even get those kind of numbers. I don't know what you'd have to do necessarily to get those numbers on the Grand Highlander. According to these people with these YouTube reviews, they make it seem like you just get in the car and go, and you're just getting 24, 25 miles a gallon. Maybe that's the case. I did see the XLE and the Limited are quoted to get up to 36, 37 miles a gallon, close to 40 miles a gallon, which if that's true, those are some great numbers. However, you do get a strong reduction in towing capacity, which would be 3,500 pounds. And also you get that whiny, droney ECTV. You don't get the cool hybrid max with the 6-speed transmission. You're getting the whole other thing. So it's like, there's a lot of trade-offs that you're dealing with. And you don't get any of those trade-offs with the Pathfinder. You just get what you get. You can get the Rock Creek, get some little skid plates on there, get a little factory lift. I just don't understand why no one's mentioning this. If no one's even talking about it. I was just like, well, hey, someone needs to talk about it. I'm out here. I'm out here and talk about it. And I'm going to probably put out more content because I did see that new Forerunner. Everybody's talking about that. And yeah, it's nice. But still, what about the Pathfinder? You're not going to mention that? You're just going to leave us out? And yeah, there are some Nissan fanboys. Get in the comments if you know what I'm talking about, because I'm pretty sure you guys have been watching too and like, yeah, well, where's Pathfinder content? Where's the Armada content? We're just going to act like Nissan's not here anymore just because they're going out of business. I mean, they're not going out of business yet. Honda tried to play them. Honda said they were going to buy them. Or Honda said they were going to do a merger. And then it turned out they wanted to do a hostile takeover and buy them. Yeah, we couldn't go that way. We couldn't go that route. I'd say, hey, Nissan, if they could have became a derivative branch of Honda, that would have been cool. Or even if there could be a Nissan-Toyota merger where they just allow Nissan to be like the entry-level Toyota. I mean, it's always been that anyway. I've always looked at Nissan like the poor man's Toyota, like the Aeropostale of the car community, and everybody else is wearing Abercrombie and Hollister and Ralph Lauren. But that Aeropostale was still holding up. A lot of people actually admired some of that Aeropostale you were wearing. Some people thought that Aeropostale hoodie you had on looked kind of cool, and it was a little bit more comfortable than that tight-ass Hollister they had on. But they didn't say anything because it was cheaper. And they didn't want to look like a lame guy or a broke guy. So they just kept going in their little Toyota. Their Hollister. You understand? It's just like that. That's what's been going on this entire time. And I'm tired of it. You can't just keep counting Nissan out. They're right there. They might stand up to that Pilot. They might stand up to that Telluride. They definitely stand up to the Highlander. And probably the Palisade too. Traverse. The new Traverse is cool. The one that looks like a Tahoe. Hey, the new Sorrentos are cool too. They're all cool in their own way. No knock to any of them, but a lot of people will see you in a Pathfinder, and or there's not a lot of people that'll see you in it and hate on you, but there's a lot of people that'll hate on Pathfinder in the comments. They'll talk junk about the Pathfinder in the comments. They may see you in one and salute you in real life, but in these comment sections, I see a lot of Nissan hate, and I find that kind of interesting. Well, I guess I'm starting to understand why they're not really mentioning Nissan and no one's mentioning Nissan. It's because, since their sales are so low, it's almost as if mentioning Nissan is giving them free promo and helping boost their numbers. Would you rather compare yourself to the least selling vehicle in America or the best selling vehicle in America? So I understand that marketing strategy. As to why Toyota would compare their Highlander to the Tahoe or to the Telluride and the Traverse. I get why they do that for a marketing purpose. You want to eat some of their sales up because they're one of the best sellers versus Pathfinder. Pathfinder's not even a factor. Their sales numbers probably aren't doing good. I just rode by a Nissan. I've rode through a few Nissan dealerships, and they're filled with Pathfinders. They're just sitting there. Fully loaded Platinums just sitting there. Armadas. The Frontiers are doing pretty well, but they still have Titans sitting there. And, the sales just aren't doing what people would have thought they would have did with the Pathfinder. But on another note, I've seen the Pathfinder starts at about $36,000, which is tremendously lower than all of these other ones. The Grand Highlander starts at like $42,000, around that range. So that's a big price difference. I think that's the lowest priced 3-row out there, actually. Unless you're looking at like a Tiguan or something. That Highlander, the regular Highlander, was like $50,000. Telluride's like $40,000-$50,000. Palisade, $40,000-$50,000. So these are actually pretty expensive vehicles. The Pathfinder's actually kind of cheap, and you can find them for even cheaper than that if you're going used. You get a used fully loaded Platinum, 4-wheel drive, the entire works, even the Rock Creek, 2019, 2020, and it's probably $26,000-$27,000. I'm like, I don't get it. That's a really great car. That's a really good car. Everybody's complaining about the V6. Well, you got one right there. Also, with the Toyota, there's a lot of complaints about the V4 4-cylinder turbo and the hybrid and the hybrid max. A lot of people, it's not a tested platform. It's not a tried and true platform. It hasn't proved itself. There's a lot of that going on. And, just being realistic, guys, the Grand Highlander is an upgrade for most people. So people don't really care about that. You're coming from a beat up car. You're not concerned about a V6. You had a freaking V3 or whatever you had in your car. So, yeah, for a lot of these people, myself included, these cars are upgrades. So, same with the 4Runner. It's an upgrade over your Tucsons and your Konas. And that's really who it's made for. If you already have a 4Runner, then just keep riding in your forever truck and wait for the next one to come out. It's not made for you. People in the comments complaining, but at the same time, did you want a truck that lasts 1 million miles, or did you want a truck you can trade in and get another one? I don't understand the thought process. Just ride in your truck that's going to last forever and let everybody else get their upgrade. But I will say with these upgraded cars, it is a little confusing with how they do their powertrains because the Toyota, they have like 10 selections. It's too many selections. You can get the regular LE, then the hybrid LE. And then they got the regular XLE and the hybrid XLE. And then they got the nightshade. And the regular platinum and the hybrid platinum and the max platinum. And the regular limited, the hybrid limited, the max limited. It's too many selections. Nissan, we ain't doing all that. You got a S, SV, SL, Platinum. And then you got a Rock Creek too. And then you can do the 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, all of that. But it's like simple stuff. It's not like with Toyota, you can't help but feel like you're getting ripped off because you get one trim and it's missing something from the other trim. And you get the expensive trim here and it's missing something from the expensive trim there. And you get the cheap trim, and the cheap trim got more than the expensive trim. And you're like, well, dang, why didn't I get that one? And it's just all this stuff. I don't even understand what they're doing. You can get the limited, and you get leather seats, but you don't get to pick your color. And you can get the max limited, so you still get the max engine, but you get the ECVT transmission. Why? So I can still get the weird transmission, but and not to knock the ECTV, but I'd rather get the 6-speed. Who wouldn't want that if you had to choose? It's just kind of weird. And they're just doing a lot of backward stuff. Then you got the nightshade, you get the blacked out look, but that's on a limited body frame. It's not on a platinum. So then you're missing out on features, but you get a cool look. It's all just confusing, and it feels like a ripoff. And then I hear you have to pay for your car to a remote start. Kind of shit is that? I'm like, I got a remote. It restarts my car. I don't have to pay a monthly subscription to get my car to start. I don't have to pay a monthly. I don't know. All these monthly subscriptions. I heard they were trying to do a monthly subscription for heated seats at one point. Just crazy stuff going on. And you got fanboys, Toyota fanboys, actually paying it. Well, yeah, it's a Toyota. What do you want to do? The car's going to last you 20 years. Might as well pay the monthly subscription. Yeah, fuck all that. Excuse my language. I'm just saying, guys. Come on, man. Like, I'm not paying all that. Monthly subscription. If my car has the remote start with a TV remote, Bluetooth, I got to go get a universal remote to make it work. I'll go ahead and do that. But, yeah, I'm not paying $8 a month just so my key fob can do what it's programmed to do. That's a ripoff. And then what's up with the regular Highlander? What's even the point of it anymore? I see some of these regular Highlanders still tow 5,000 pounds, and they're still 3 rows. Yeah, they're smaller, and they're a little bit cheaper, but they're really not that much cheaper, and they're still way more expensive than the Pathfinder. It's kind of weird, too. Weird powertrains and little things they got going on with that, too. Seems like it has the same engine. They just don't do the max platinum, but it still has a 5,000 towing capacity. I don't get that. What's the point of the max platinum? Are they like nerfing it or something? Just little things like that, and questions that are going unanswered, and people are just kind of side skirting and acting like it's not a thing when it is. And don't even get me started on the Forerunner. That's a whole nother video I'd like to mention. But yeah, the Forerunner definitely is a factor, and it almost seems like it's like wiping out the Highlander, or maybe the Highlander is just more of a mom car now. But that's a whole nother video, and I'll mention that in another one. I will say, though, the Grand Highlander is a breath of fresh air, and it seems like a really cool car, especially if it gets the gas it's predicted to get. I've been seeing some weird, wonky numbers with the gas, and people putting gas in the tank. Supposedly it's supposed to get 17 gallons, but it's only capping out at 14, 13. Some people say they fill it up at 9, and you got people saying stuff like the hybrid is eating up a certain amount of gas, and you're not going to get to fill it all the way up. All I want to know is how many miles per tank are you getting? Are you getting 600 miles per tank, or are you getting 350 miles per tank? And why is 350 always the number dealers seem to land on? I like to have a car that can go from one state to another. Like the old 2021 Tundra just has a 38-gallon gas tank. You just drive straight from one place to another. I like to be able to do that with an SUV. And not have to get a Sequoia or a Tahoe to do it. I mean, that's one problem the Pathfinder does have. You're going to be stopping to get some gas before you make it to the next state. Unless you're driving from North Carolina to South Carolina or something. But yeah, if you're actually trying to go from North Carolina to New York, yeah, good luck making it all in one trip. There are cars that are capable of doing that, though. I know the Kia Niro, who wants that? But hey, it's going like 500 miles a tank. And like I said, the Toyota Tundra, the old 2021 version at least, pretty big gas tank. Even a Nissan Titan could do it. So there are some engines out there and some trucks out there and cars that were capable of making it from one state to the next in one gas tank. And I like to be able to do that with a family car. So the Highlander acts like it's that. The Pathfinder's not that. You can make it from one state to another, but you're definitely going to be filling up on the way there. You're going to have to make a couple stops. I'd say the most you can get out of a Pathfinder going on highway miles, probably get like a little over 400 miles. So you may be able to do something with that, but I like a gas tank that can go 500 miles, 600. That makes me feel more secure, at least when traveling from one state to the next. So I don't know, maybe you guys can leave a comment about that if you feel differently or if you agree. Or if you are familiar with how many miles per tank that Grand Highlander can actually get, because it's becoming a very blurred number and no one wants to give the exact mileage that they can get. It's like just a guesstimation game. You got to rent the car or get it yourself just to find out. And then you get it. There's all this hype surrounding it, and you're so excited. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm getting 500 miles a tank. It's a hybrid, 36 miles a gallon. And you finally get in there, and it's getting the same gas you was getting in your old beat-up Corolla. And you're like, you done built all that hype up, so now you're let down and disappointed. So I'd like somebody to put that number out there, if that number exists. But yeah, on another note, I'd say the Pathfinder, you can get about 400 or so miles per tank if you're doing highway numbers. So, that's on the highway, 400 something miles per tank. City numbers, you're looking at about 320 to 350, maybe 360 if you're being moderate and eco-friendly. But that's a reach. 320 is what I usually average. And it's not horrible. But it's not the best either. To put it in perspective, I have a Hyundai Tucson also, and that one gets about 400 miles a tank in the city and close to 500 miles a tank highway numbers. So it is almost capable of making it from one state to the next. I'd pretty much, if I was driving from Virginia to Georgia, I'd probably make it in one tank, and I'd fill up once I got to Georgia. That's how the Tucson could work. Pathfinder, yeah, I'd probably be making a stop, filling up before I get to Georgia. So that's just a perspective of the gas tank in the Pathfinder. Overall, the size of both vehicles is very similar. I will say the dimensions on the Grand Highlander are a little bit longer, a little bit wider, a little bit taller. But that's the whole premise. It's just a little bit bigger. It's not that much greater. You're still having a decent sized third row in your Pathfinder. It's very comparable. You have a very comfortable second row, very comfortable first row. You're getting all the amenities, all the features. The only thing I've noticed the Grand Highlander has that the Pathfinder doesn't have, you do not have rear ventilated seats, just rear heated, but you still have a removable center console, the captain's chairs. The air vents in the roof, panorama, 4-wheel drive. The list goes on. Every feature is still there. There's nothing missing. Wireless Qi charging. The outlet in the second row, the power outlet, still there. There is no power outlet in the trunk, but there is one in the middle. So there's that. But other than that, there's literally nothing missing. You get every feature. Word for word, verbatim. You're getting the same stuff. So it's just kind of weird that a lot of people are acting like the Grand Highlander is just the best car they've ever heard of, because Pathfinder's been sitting there the whole time doing the same thing the whole time, and everybody's acting like it's a miracle that the Grand Highlander came out. It's just these Toyota guys. I guess they've never heard of it, never seen it, just never even witnessed a vehicle even remotely similar to the Grand Highlander. It's just a miracle car. But yeah, the Pathfinder's been there the whole time. It's the same car, if not better in some ways. And I'm not counting out the Grand Highlander because I do think it's a remarkable vehicle. It looks like a good car. I'm actually considering getting one myself. I do have the Pathfinder, but we could use another car. But it's just something to consider. I may even get another Pathfinder. That's just how much I like it. But let me know what you guys think. I just wanted to put it out there. I'm going to put out another one with the Forerunner and the Pathfinder. And you guys let me know if you want that, or if I can just keep it, save it. No one wants to hear it. But I'm putting these out, just kind of putting the Pathfinder out there because, like I said, I drive a Pathfinder. I get tired of feeling like the outcast, the guy that's just not able to speak on it at all because we're not even counted in. No, we're in here, and we're going to stay here. We're going to keep speaking. Let them know, Nissan, hey, if Nissan want to get behind me and have me test drive the new 2027 Pathfinder and show everybody what's going on, hey, I'll do that too. I know they got that new Palisade out there. So, hey, let me know what you guys think. It's Hood Tips. You have a good one.